Hello, you guys. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Oh my gosh, y'all. I am so tired. I am so tired. I came out to come get some lunch and then I had to stop at Five Below to grab something for my daughter. Something to go with her little anime things or something I had to get her. So I stopped at Five Below after I grabbed my lunch, you guys, and I need to get back upstairs so that I can work. But I am tired. I am tired. I gotta take a break before I do that. I'm in the car trying to motivate myself to get out. So I figure while I'm working myself out to get out this car, I will come talk to y'all for a little bit. So last night, I don't know why I put stuff on when I'm dozing off that I know I'm gonna want to pay attention to, because when I do that, then I don't go to sleep how I'm supposed to, or I'll end up falling asleep, and then I might turn over and wake up, and then I hear something, and then I'm up, and I need to stop doing that. But last night I put on RealLyfe Productions um interview of Nature Boy Eligio Bishop, right? And there are several content creators over there in the black tea sector that follow the Nature Boy Carbonation saga. Same as I think Neek followed it too, and King World. It's a whole bunch of people. Sanada, a whole bunch of it. I think it was probably a mix of people from different sectors who follow all of that stuff going on with carbonation. But y'all know the other day when I was telling y'all about that man Jehovah Holy Ghost, and I was telling y'all that he acts like Nature Boy. Listen, I found some more stuff, y'all, because I went back in the archives because I wanted to hear Velvet. Velvet was Nature Boy's legal wife, right? And the mother of the first child. And so I went to go back and look at her interview because I thought it was something she said in her interview that reminded me of something that man Jehovah Holy Ghost said, right? And child, I found him on Bigo. Listen, y'all, I done got on this Bigo. And I think I gotta get off of that because I got on Bigo so I could try to look this man up so I could try to see what he doing and be nosy and see what he doing over there on Bigo. And I keep getting all these notifications and messages. I haven't friended nobody over there, ain't done nothing. All I did was go over there so I could find that man Jehovah Holy Ghost so I could try to follow him, because I have a feeling that he has like a similar thing going on over there like Nature Boy did. And so but I had it was something. Remember when I was telling y'all about the eunuchs and what that man Jehovah Holy Ghost had said about the eunuchs? So I knew Nature Boy had something similar. Lord God, oh, it's so hot. Nature Boy had something similar going on, right? And I remember when Velvet had said in her interview on RealLyfe Productions that that's the podcast with that blue couch, right? And I remember that she said that Nature Boy was trying to have all them men over there in that carbonation cult cut off their private parts and for them to be eunuchs, right? And remember, I told y'all this man, Jehovah Holy Ghost, was talking about he's not a man or a woman, and the person that he's intending to marry is a eunuch. We would consider the person to be trans, but they are identifying the person as a eunuch. And so remember, I was telling you, like, if you go back historically, there was some eunuchs that were temple prostitutes, right? And so I don't know if they would equate that to being trans or what, but look. So, but I had the main reason I wanted to come and talk to y'all real quick is because real life need to stop. They need to start fact checking what these people be saying. They let Jaguar Wright, they let a whole bunch of people get up on it, but Jaguar Wright really is the one who kicked them off. And they let Jaguar Wright come up on that daggone blue couch and tell all of them lies. Don't never fact check her, never checking to see what she's saying. And so last night when I was listening to Nature Boy, I guess he did an interview from prison. Now let me tell y'all, I don't know if that was like a planned interview, because that shit was long for it to be a prison interview. I don't know. You didn't hear nothing in between, cutting in nothing. So I don't know if somehow kind of way they arranged for him to be able to do that kind of an interview. I don't know whether he was calling in on an unauthorized cell phone device. I don't know what was going on. But I do know, like, sometimes prisoners can do that. Lori Vallow Daybell done it. And so I don't know if this is something new that the prisoners can do if they high profile or whatever. But that interview was long for it to be on a call. And not one time did you hear a jail recording cut in. So I'm inclined to believe that that was on some type of unauthorized device or something. I don't know. But he's doing this interview from prison. So it was a whole bunch of stuff he said that was lies. Of course, he was still talking crazy, still saying crazy stuff, not saying nothing that's going to help him out to try to either get some relief or to like try to shave some of that time off or not incriminate himself. He said no, but it was something he said, and I'm like, this is something so simple to fact check. So while he's trying to talk about that his prosecution was the unfair prosecution and all of the other stuff, the same type of mess you hear all the rest of them say. And I don't care whether the prisoner, the criminal is black, white, yellow, red, green, they all say the same thing. They feel like they was unfairly targeted for whatever reason. You got Josh Duggar over there. He think he was unfairly targeted because his family was on the TLC show showing Christian values. They all come up with something of why the government and law enforcement and whoever else want to target them. They all got this in their mind, and they all say the same thing. They all go into talking about the conditions of the prison. And look, listen, y'all know I don't agree with prison conditions a lot of the times. I feel like it's a lot of things that they need to do. In the same breath, this is not the Ritz-Carlton. Like, I don't know why some of them think that they are supposed to be treated like they at the Ritz-Carlton. And so but they all, like I said, they all complain about the conditions of the prison. I don't think that it's meant for it to be pleasant. I think that sometimes it's not pleasant as a deterrent, but for people to go there. But at the same time, like, I do feel like people need to be in humane sanitary conditions. I don't think that it needs to be just terrible. Like I said, like that Rice Street prison over there in Fulton County. But they all say the same thing about the prison. They all say the same thing about unfair prosecution. They all say the same thing about the government is targeting them for whatever reason they targeted them for. But then he said something else, and it's the same. This another thing that they all say. Nature Boy had a nerve to sit his ass up on that phone and say, because he got life plus 25 years or something like that, I think. It was either life plus 25 years or life plus 10 years. That's what his sentence was. So he got a rape charge, false imprisonment, and then distributing revenge porn or something like that, right? And those false imprisonment charges were serious because he had them in other countries keeping their passports and documents and stuff from them to be able to get away. Like, it was major. And the reason why that's dangerous and why they're going to take that serious is because of what happened with Jim Jones when they went to Ghana. When they did the same thing to those people, and then look at what that led to. So the government is not going to take it lightly when you got people that are following you, claiming that they are part on this spiritual awakening and journey, and then y'all go over to another country and then you take all of their documents so that they can't get back to the United States. They're gonna take that serious. not to mention they had hours upon hours of footage from Bigo, and then footage that end up coming to YouTube of this man's abuse of these people. Like the coercion, the tactics, the manipulation, all of the stuff that he was using. So they got all of that too. But he had a nerve to say on that line, when I heard him say this, I was like, I know he lied. He had a nerve to say when he said that they gave him all of these years, and why would they give him all of these years? And he was like, and they didn't even give Dr. York all of them years. Y'all, when he said that, I said, what the hell? Dr. York got 138 years in prison. This is what I mean when I'm saying that there are people who have committed similar or like crimes that have gotten way more time than what some of these people are complaining about what they got. They got way more time. Dr. York received 138 years. And I'm like, why is RealLyfe Productions letting him say that? And it's nobody, they don't have no team, they don't have nobody back there fact checking him. They just letting him say that. And the bad part is somebody is gonna go repeat that shit. Somebody that's gonna look at that, because they don't care. They don't care about looking into nothing or checking nothing to see nothing, verify, make sure what the person is saying is accurate. Just like people don't be wanting to verify and check and see if inmates is listed in paperwork is still being held by the law enforcement, right? They don't do none of that. They not checking to see like if what's being presented in front of me, if it's accurate, or at least looking into it and seeing is this legit. It is clear that Dr. York was given 138 years, and that boy sat up on that phone on RealLyfe Productions and told them people that they didn't even give Dr. York all of that time. And then now you're going to have a whole bunch of people that's going to go out and repeat what that boy said because they did not look to see how many years did Dr. York get. Some people don't even know who Dr. York is. So they just going to repeat it, not even knowing who they talking about, just because they heard him say it. And just because they agree with him and feel like that he shouldn't be held accountable for what he was doing. Y'all, he took them people to Costa Rica, Belize, Mexico, Puerto Rico, held them people documents so that they couldn't get back to their, had them men getting ready to get their private parts cut off. Like, I listen, it is hard probably for most of us to be able to understand how do you get to that, but these people get lured in different ways. The most of those people that got lured into that carbonation mess, they got lured in because they wanted to be naturalists. They wanted to be able to go and live off of the earth and be agriculturists and live like a free life off the grid. That might not be appealing to some of us, but it is, I guess, to some people. And as a result, they got involved with some people who they thought was like-minded. And they decided they was going to go make this colony. And in doing that, this is how they ended up in this situation that they was in. Like, this is crazy. I do not understand how they are allowed to get up there and say stuff that's blatantly not true, and nobody is checking into, nobody's coming back later and saying that this is not true, that we fact checked this and this wasn't accurate. Dr. York got 138 years. Nature Boy is lying about that he got more time than Dr. York. Like, that is just not the truth. A lot of these people are getting triple digit years. I'm seeing more leniency in the other direction, to be honest with you. In some of these situations, the main ones complaining about how many years they got, they the main ones, they got lesser sentences. They not sitting up there with no triple digits like these men, Dr. York, Keith Raniere. They ain't not, man, somebody told me, I watched this other thing where they say this boy was looking to face in 185 years. He took some kind of alpha plea for his crimes, they gave that boy a couple of months in jail. Black boy. Black boy. That's what I'm saying. I know a lot of people be thinking this stuff is like being biased based on prejudice, based on race, and it is. You see that discrimination within the system, but you also see a lot of the other. You can't just look at the number like the way people think and find the disparity. It's a whole lot more complicated than that. I was like, this is crazy. I don't know what made Nature Boy get his butt up on that thing and tell that lie like that he got more time than Dr. York. Something that can easily be he was on the thing justifying why they was having intimacy in front of the children. And I mean, if you base it upon the standard that I done heard some of out here, I guess that some other people might go along with it too. What he said, he was making a claim saying, I'm not into doing anything with children, but it's biology and it's something that they should see, and it's something that we shouldn't be afraid to do. We shouldn't be inhibited and all this. I mean, he wasn't saying nothing on that phone call to help him at all. I don't know if this phone call was supposed to counter that Hulu series that came out, but he did not do nothing to help himself on this phone call at all. It is a mess, baby. A mess. And then we got Stephon Diggs about they doing a jury selection for him. That was fast. I did not know that this case was coming up this fast. So this is involving his chef that he choked out. Well, now it's being rumored that the chef is going to plead the fifth. I don't know what she's supposed to be pleading the fifth to, because they have not clarified that. And my question is, well, so I don't know. I'm wondering, is she pleading the fifth only to what? What is she pleading the fifth to? Is it to certain things, or if she is pleading the fifth, does she have to plead it across the board? I think it can only. I think maybe it's only to certain things, and if it's only to certain things, maybe it's things surrounding her relationship with him, the real nature of their relationship or something. I don't know, but they claim that she's going to be pleading the fifth in this case. So then my question is, well, if she's the only witness, so if she is pleading the fifth, how are they even moving forward with this prosecution of him? I'm confused about that. I'm waiting to get more details so I can tell y'all about that. I was gonna wait to tell y'all about that, but I just wanted to give y'all a little sneak peek into that. That's what's going on with that case. YNW Melly got his butt back up in court for asking for another bond hearing. I don't know when this boy is going back to court. It is so much stuff going on with that case too. That case is all over the place. But he got another bond hearing today. So I was listening to the Stephon Diggs stuff. So I gotta go back and listen to Melly so I can find out what happened. But today is turning out to be a busy day in law and crime, y'all. A busy day. I don't know. It's a lot going on. So then I listened a little bit into the allegations against 50 Cent. What they claim is that, so it's claims of threats was made. They was showing us some text messages that they was asked to commit some kind of fraud dealing with vehicles. It's an assistant of his, and she claimed that she was fired because she refused to do something. I can't remember exactly what she refused to do, but she claimed that he had her involved in something to do with trying to do something fraudulent with a vehicle, like report a vehicle stolen or something that wasn't stolen, and then trying to launder some money by purchasing some kind of house or doing something that then somebody else paid for, and then but he never lost the money on it. Something about a report of some money being stolen. That's part of the thing. And then of course like some other threats towards her, like bodily harm and threats. So Um, of course, 50 Cent is denying any of this is true. Some of these claims sound like a repeat of some of the stuff that Diddy staff member said about him. And they said that these claims were investigated by law enforcement, but the law enforcement said they didn't find any truth in the claims, because something about the phone numbers couldn't be verified. So I don't know whether it was a number that he, like a burner number or something that he had that couldn't be attached to him. That's possible. Or maybe the lady was text messaging back and forth with somebody else and made it seem like it was him. But law enforcement was saying that they they couldn't find any validity in her claim at the time that she reported it. And so they never moved in on it. But now she is filing a civil lawsuit against 50 Cent, child. So we gotta wait and see what happened with that, because he always making claims on people, and he always up in somebody's business. So if they think they got some of his business, they gonna go to the left with it. I don't know. Listen, I told y'all I be thinking people doing shit. So I think there's somebody Diddy sit back trying to get back at 50 Cent, yo. I think this somebody Diddy that sent in. Then Donald Trump, he always doing something. You could come on here every hour of the day, and it's gonna be something new Donald Trump done did. Well, he done told them people that he is about to go in there and I think it's Colombia, take over Colombia. They about to be next. I don't know what this man is doing. I don't know who is letting this man do all of this. Um, we gonna wake up this Saturday morning, because he like to do this stuff on a Saturday. So we gonna wake up this coming Saturday morning. It's right before Mother's Day. He got to try to steal the thunder. So he's gonna wake up this coming Saturday morning, and that leader of that country gonna be stolen up out of his country too, because that man, they didn't let him think it's okay for him to do that. And as long as he keep getting away with doing it and don't nobody do nothing to stop him, he's gonna keep doing it. I am waiting. I need to know, what is these countries' response to him doing this? Like, they need to do something about this. And I'm just saying, I'm not inviting nobody or inciting nobody to nothing, but our government ain't stopping him. They ain't doing nothing about him doing this. They know what he's doing, that this is illegal stuff he's doing. He's violating international laws doing this kind of crap. Just making threats on the people and telling them what he gonna go do to just pull somebody leader out of their country. You said, why are there are no checks in bed? Exactly. Like, this is ridiculous. And he gets up in public and makes these statements. And I don't know what is wrong with our Congress. Like, like, these things that he is doing is going to impact our country for decades to, if not centuries to come. What he's doing. Like, this is ridiculous. Hey, I'm telling you, if we wake up Sunday morning and he done stole that man up out of Colombia, I think it was Colombia. He said he's gonna that we about to go take Colombia soon. He likes doing this on a Friday night, Saturday morning. If we wake up Saturday morning, I am not gonna be shocked. I ain't even gonna blink no eye. It's not even gonna be no big deal. I don't even want to watch no news reports about it, because this is ridiculous that they are letting him go around the world doing this. And the thing is that if somebody came here and got him, then we would have his trash supporters turn the whole country up. This don't make no sense. And these other countries, they need to do something about him. Because this is ridiculous. I hate to say this shit, but if Ivanka won't get her daddy, then somebody else better. I done been telling her that she need to come get her daddy. This don't make any sense. And this is the thing. I don't know why his children are not thinking about the safety of themselves and their children and their children's children. Like, the stuff he is doing this stuff to people who don't forget stuff, who they are going to use an opportunity to try to get back however way they can. And he is playing around with their lives. I'm telling you, if I would have already gotten what I needed with the behavioral health facility in order to get my daddy checked in somewhere. No, he don't need to be nobody president. Let him be president right over this unit up in this facility. Let him think that. We gonna get him a name. Get him a room here. Nicest, get the nicest one, the one on the corner. We gonna put his name with a golden plaque. Let him think this room is dedicated to him. That it's the Oval Office, and we gonna put him right here. Just go get him a hamburger, some French fries, and a Diet Coke, and put Saturday Night Live on for him, and he will be fine. He will think that he is sitting in the White House. That's what I would have did, because this is ridiculous. He is. I don't care how much money they making out of this. You or your children might not be here to spend it based off of what this man is doing. You see how good of a job his detail is doing of supposedly protecting him and covering him? He done got all of these attempts on his life, and it's only because the people who are attempting to do it, they ain't got nobody good enough yet. They ain't got nobody good enough. Not to mention, we don't even know if we believe that these is real attempts at all. But one time, it's going to be somebody that's going to attempt something, and they is not going to miss. And the thing is that if they feel like they can't get to him, well, guess what's next? Guess what's the next thing closest to him? And some of them kids, I don't even think he going to care if something happens to him. That'll be another excuse for him to capitalize off of some mess. Some of them, I don't think he is going to give a damn what happened. But, yeah, I would have got what I needed to get my daddy checked in. Like, you cannot be acting like this. This is ridiculous. But, like, y'all, if we wake up Saturday morning, I'm telling you, I called it. If we wake up Saturday morning and he done stole another leader of another country, I called it, because that's what he like to do. He likes to do a late Friday night ambush, and then we wake up Saturday morning, and then he done did some shit. And like I said, it is Mother's Day, and you know how he likes to steal the shine. He don't want nobody else getting recognition for nothing. Look at poor Melania. He done staged at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. He done staged that whole goddamn thing behind his goddamn somebody coming after him, and Melania couldn't even celebrate her birthday right. She all shook up trying to celebrate her birthday. Like, this is ridiculous. I am so sick of this man. It don't make no sense. And then the thing is that he is so horrible. I don't even know what we gonna get next from him. Like, if it's gonna go any lower, I tell people all the time, I will take GW back. At this point, you know how he got on our nerves, GW. But now I will take GW back after dealing with him. We didn't think it could get no worse than GW. Now we got him, DJT, Donnie T. That's what I call him, because that sound like a pervert. I always, when I be talking to my mama and my friends and stuff, and my cousins and sisters, I call him Donnie T. Anytime he do something, they text me and be like, "Girl, Donnie T, up to it again," because that's a pervert name, Donnie T. Donnie T is up to it. He is always up to something. It don't make any sense. It don't make any sense. We gonna have a whole nother leader taken from their country probably before the end of the month. I'm predicting it's gonna be Friday night into Saturday morning. But at least by the end of the month, he gonna go take somebody else leader out their country. Shoot, I don't know when these people gonna do something. Somebody need to do something, and some of these people allies, they need to step up. They need to step up and do something about it. Because y'all just letting this man do that, he gonna come get y'all next. Because every time he do something, he think that he's emboldened to go do something worse. Shoot, I won't be surprised if he's sitting over there trying to figure out if he can get Xi Jinping out of China. Because he ain't gonna mess with Putin. He ain't gonna mess with Putin. But he might try go get him out of China. Because he always he's sneaky. He's sneaky. So I don't trust none. I won't trust him. He might try to go take Starmer. He might help Putin go take Zelensky up out of there, because he's not that fond of the Zelensky anyway. So he might figure the way for him to end the war in the Ukraine is for him to take Zelensky out with Putin, and then they put somebody else in there, and then he can try to be up for the Nobel Peace Prize again. He don't got to take somebody else's prize that they was awarded. He can try to get it for himself. He gonna think that's a way for him to end it. This is ridiculous. I am so sick of this man. He gives you fatigue. That's probably why I don't feel like walking up to go in there right now. It's too hot. It's hot out here, y'all. Is it hot where y'all at? I don't know why I'm feeling so hot. I think I might be having some hot flashes, y'all. Oh, wait a minute. And let me tell y'all, my kidney stone is not gone. Let me tell y'all. Last night after I got off the live, because I told y'all last week I was still feeling sore. And when I went to go, because I went to go see the doctor and have the imaging done, not this Friday that just passed, the Friday before, right? Remember I told y'all that the doctor that she was going on vacation? So she was supposed to call me so that I could get scheduled if I needed to be scheduled. So I went and had the x-ray. I had the x-ray done the same day. And then I had to have the ultrasound done. It was Monday, I think. I think Monday I had to go have the ultrasound done. Wait, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I went to the doctor's not last Friday, the Friday before last. And then was it Tuesday? It might have been Tuesday I had the ultrasound done. Okay. So yeah, I think it was Tuesday I had the ultrasound done. It's warming up over girl. It's hot over here. Maybe it's just me. I don't know, but it is hot. So I don't even know how many degrees it is. I just know it's hot. I ain't even look at it right now. So I'm looking. I told y'all I was reading the report, right? But I was kind of confused because the report it was punctuations missing and stuff like that. So I wasn't like really kind of sure if it was reading the way I was reading it and interpreting it. So y'all, I have been having some pains over the weekend, right? And last night, after I got off of the live, I started to get, a little pain started to kick in again. So I put the heating pad on again. So I was like, let me send a message over to this doctor to check and see, is this still supposed to be doing this now? Because I didn't hear nothing after I had the ultrasound. I checked because it looked like she had reviewed the x-ray. I checked that right after I had it, right? I didn't have no messages or nothing in my chart. So then, like I said, I had the ultrasound. I think that was Tuesday last week. It was either Monday or Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. I don't know if it was Monday or Tuesday. One of those days, I had the ultrasound. And I told you, she was saying that the ultrasound, she was just trying to look to see like if it was any type of swelling or stuff like that or whatever, determine if I needed some additional medications or something or whatever in the area. Because since I was having pain over there, she wanted to check and make sure. So y'all, I went to go send a message because I wanted to send a message to say, should I still be having this now? Because I just wanted to make sure like that I wasn't tripping, like that, or I didn't want to make sure that it wasn't going too long and then something else might be going on. So I went into opened up my mind chart so that I can message her. Now, all right, y'all. This is how my mind chart go. I have a lot of doctors, right? So because I got a lot of doctors, those doctors are affiliated with different hospitals. It's still on my chart, but I have to change the organization, right? So, wait a minute, y'all. Hold on. I don't know what that was about. So it's with different organizations. So I had some blood work done with my primary care doctor. So I had switched the organization in my chart to that doctor at that hospital that's associated with the other hospital. So it wasn't set on the other one. So I don't know if that had something to do with my notifications coming through on the other doctor. But baby, when I went in there and I went to go send her that message, I seen the thing that say that they gonna contact me to schedule to have the kidney stone removed. I was like, what the? I was like, what the hell? I didn't get no notification, no nothing. And this was on the 29th. On the 29th, she sent this message. What was the 29th, y'all? Was that was Thursday, right? The 29th was Thursday, I think. So the message came through on the 29th that they were going to call me to schedule for me to have the procedure to have the kidney stone removed. I called them this morning. I still ain't get a call back yet, but this is like the worst situation I have ever had in my life. And so because she's out, my original urologist is supposed to do the procedure. So I'm waiting for them to call me back and let me know what need to be done. But I was not prepared for this. I thought that kidney stone was gone. And I logged right in there so that I could message them to ask them, is this pain supposed to still be happening? And then to come to find out the kidney stone is still there. So that's why the pain is probably still happening. So then I was like, okay, let me take this goddamn. When I seen that, at least I was glad I logged in and looked at it, because I was like, let me take this medicine that they gave me, because I didn't take the medicine thinking that the kidney stone was gone. And since I hadn't heard nothing from her, I thought it was okay. So I took that medicine last night. So that, because she had extended the medication. So I took the pill last night. You take it, the one you take once a day, and then the other one you take 2 times a day. So I gotta wait to hear from them. But child, this thing got me pissed off and disgusted. I am so disgusted about this. I was like, I done told everybody the kidney stone is gone. I don't have to have the procedure done. All this, my mom asked me. I told her I am not even going to tell my mom that I read the thing wrong. I'm just gonna go ahead, get the procedure done, have one of the kids, my cousin or somebody, ride me to get, because I gotta get the anesthesia, and then pick me up. I ain't even going back, because my mother be worried about everything. So she didn't stop worrying. I didn't see nothing, so I thought it was gone. So now I'm not gonna have her be all worried all over again. So I'm just gonna go ahead, have this thing done, and get rid of this thing, and hopefully I don't never have this thing happen again. I cannot. This is ridiculous. We in May. I think it was March 26th that I went to the hospital with this thing. And I think I had it at least 2 to 3 weeks before that, because I had gone to urgent care and I was having a problem. And I told them that I thought I had a UTI. And so all they did at the urgent care was check to see if I had that. Was like, oh, no, you don't have that. So, and then just like gave me like a little bit of ibuprofen 600s, and told me to check like with my doctor. And so I did. I had made an appointment to see my doctor, but I didn't think it was that urgent. Like, once they said it wasn't a UTI, because I thought that's the pain I was feeling, but they was like, no, you don't have that. So I think that was that kidney stone all along, because then the pain just got more intense. So I gotta wait. I'm waiting for them to call me back about that, y'all. Well, I just came on here to talk to y'all real quick about that, to tell y'all about me watching that Nature Boy. Miller, did you go back and listen to my live yesterday where I did like a Brian Carr update? All I did, so I was, my Brian Carr update, I was talking about Thais. Because Thais had a completely different angle at the courthouse than Pam did. So, they was, oh my gosh, they was right drag Thais. Pam, they didn't like that Pam was there, but Pam, she was Pam isn't as bad when she's talking about them. She tries to like stick to the paperwork. She might give a little bit of her opinion and then she'll keep on moving. But you know, Thais and all of them, they be infusing all of their personal opinions and their feelings and clowning the situation and all of that when they do their commentary. Them people, they look like they was ready drag Thais. They told him that he was not invited there. Like it was an invitation. You have to see, yeah, go watch Thais did a premiere yesterday where he premiered his footage from when he was at the courthouse, because him and Pam were there together. And so, but I think what happened was Pam either came out after him, but they were on two different sides, get at two different angles, trying to get him when he came out of the courthouse to see if he was gonna say something. Well, that side that Thais was on, them people was like, they was ready drag Thais, Miller. I was like, see, this is why this most of these churches is cults. They cults. They ain't no better than Nature Boy, no better than none of the rest of these people. They claim like they doing the same mess, Why how you out there trying to tell a person they can't be in a public place at a courthouse? They wasn't invited. Like that's your home. Like they got control over it for the day. They told him he's disgusting, he's nasty, he's messy. Just was going off on him. None of that for that pastor though, who was in the courthouse for committing a crime. They ain't had none of that to say to him, but mad at the people that's reporting on it. Mad at the people that's bringing light and shedding light on it. They wasn't mad at that pastor for taking that coin and not fulfilling his obligation to the government. They weren't mad about while they're paying the government their taxes from their checks and then giving him money. He being their charity. They weren't mad about that, but they mad about the people they're reporting it. Child, they was very Thais lucky he made it out there. He is lucky he made it out there. Okay. They had the one man out there, the one member. He in the daggone motorized wheelchair. It was Thais and them said it was hot as hell out there, Mella. Like these people, they will kill themselves at the expense of that man of God. They will. They don't even be caring about their own health at the expense of that. And then so yesterday, I watched his sermon yesterday. I tuned into his church sermon. I listened to a little bit. I couldn't listen to all of it. So he claimed he wasn't going to talk about the situation because sometimes silence is the best thing. But what he did was typically what preachers do. He preached a sermon. He preached from Moses parting the Red Sea and having the obstacle in front of you and the army of people who say you have nowhere to go behind you. And just the typical shit. He got to make sure he gave a lecture to his leaders in his church that they need to make sure that they are attending church. He's doing that because he needs to make sure that when he gets back that that money is still intact. So he got, I don't know if you had saw my live from when I had updated the other day, but he got 9 months. He got 9 months in prison. He's going to a prison in Georgia. He doesn't have to turn himself in until all of the paperwork is done for him to go straight into the prison. So instead of him having to be held over in a jail cell until all the paperwork and stuff is done, I think it's like 45 days that they got to process the paperwork for him to go in to serve that 9 months. So, and then he's got to pay the $600,000 back. They did not assess any additional fines or fees, and he has to pay $1,000 a month, and that doesn't start until after his incarceration. So right now, I guess he talking to his people and making sure he keep everything in place so that that money is still flowing when he come back, because he's gonna need that. I don't know what else he got going on, but he's gonna need that ministry and all of that stuff when he comes back. And I'm pretty sure most of the people will still be there. You know, I'm pretty sure most of them, because like I said, they are his cult members. So anything he do, they don't care nothing about what he do wrong. like I said, when he survived, them women coming out talking about their orgies, that he had them participate in, then them church members ain't going nowhere. They're not going nowhere. They don't care what he does. They are going to stick beside him. Um, that David E. Taylor case, Miller. Hold on, let me see when that's supposed to saw it. Hold on. Okay, so Miller, we don't know when that trial is supposed to start yet. Because there was some mention, I guess there was something that was originally set up for April, but then that was off the calendar. So we waiting to see when that David E. Taylor case is gonna start, but that's gonna be something else. That case gonna be something else too. Lord have mercy. Well, I'm about to try to tune back into this Stephon Diggs to see what's going on with that. I gave y'all the update for what is so far. They just been doing jury selection this morning on that. And are they going to continue the process after lunch on jury selection? There's been some rumor that the witness in the case, which is only one, because it is the chef who is alleging that he choked her out, didn't pay her the monies and stuff like that. So um that they mentioned something about that she might be pleading the fifth. I don't know what she's pleading the fifth to, but that leads me to question, then if she's going to plead the fifth entirely, how are they moving forward with their case with her pleading the fifth? I don't know how that works. So I don't know if the what's being reported is that she's pleading the fifth to testifying, period, or if she's going to be pleading the fifth to just certain things, to not answering. So I don't know which one it is. You said them members shouted all over. Yes, they did. Yes, they did, Miller. All over the church. That's why I said they'll be there when them members are not going nowhere. Like I said, they did not care. All of the scandal that Brian Karn has had just over the last 2 years, them members ain't going nowhere. They staying right there. Now, what he have to do is motivate them to continue to give while he's in there. I'm pretty sure they will continue giving when he come back, but he has to put in place a system that is motivating them to give while he's in there, because sometimes the parishioners will associate. I know a lot of churches deal with these obstacles. This is stuff they get mad about. The church will deal with an obstacle if the pastor is like out sick and somebody else is preaching in the pulpit. They automatically associate that with, okay, well, we ain't paying that person because we don't like how he preach, or that ain't our pastor, we ain't paying for him, or they'll have that kind of mindset, right? And so then sometimes it makes certain congregants drop off giving. So that's why I think that he's doing stuff now to try to set in place a system where he can continue to reinforce them giving. Miller, I won't be surprised if that man finds some way from the damn jail cell to be talking to them people on Sunday mornings. I will not be shocked. I will not be shocked if that man don't end up preaching it up to them from a prison cell. I'm waiting to see if we get a headline over there in the carnal church sector, Brian Karn preaches first sermon from prison cell. I won't flinch. It won't nothing shock me if that happens. That man is a trip. He is a daggone trip. I don't know what's Lord, I don't know what's going on with half of these crazy ass people. They crazy. They are crazy. Like I said, after that thing happened with him in Senegal, with Bishop Senegal, they didn't care about that. They didn't care about all of these women. Like I said, they didn't care when all of them women was coming forward and then saying that he was having them participating in orgies and stuff like that. They don't care. They ain't gonna care nothing about no $600,000 he owed to the IRS. They didn't let all of that stuff go. It's crazy. Oh, Miller, have you been following what's going on with this DL Whisper and T.S. Madison? Child, that's another story, because like I said, I cannot keep up with everything, but I was always seeing it and I just didn't have time to like go back so I could listen to what happened. But I did listen to Nyla last night talking about that T.S. Madison, this is Nyla's position, but we do know that Nyla's position is always, a lot of the times, not saying that because she has her own thinking. She doesn't always follow behind what Tasha K is doing, but a lot of times her opinions are in favor of whatever side Tasha K is on, right? And so we know that the dispute that even started off with the DL Whisperer had Tasha K involved in it. So, and T.S. Madison. So, apparently, for those who don't know or whatever, T.S. Madison got the DL Whisperer locked up because the DL Whisperer showed up at her house. And so T.S. Madison did dare the DL Whisperer to roll up at her house. I guess she did not expect that the DL Whisperer was really going to do it. And so the DL Whisperer rolled up over there at their house, and then she ended up getting a restraining order on the DL Whisperer. And then I don't know what, because that part I didn't see Nyla talk about. I don't know what the DL Whisperer did that violated whatever that order was, but then the DL Whisperer got locked up. So Nyla was talking about how women have been silenced, not rights for women and advocacy for women has been silenced, not just by heterosexual men, but by trans men as well. Trans women, I guess they women. They born a male and trans male to female, right? And she was saying that because T.S. Madison, and I do have an issue with T.S. Madison thinking this, right? And I agree. I felt like Nyla did a good live last night, because now outside of the part where Nyla was like suggesting that T.S. Madison shouldn't have called the police on the DL Whisperer, I don't know if I'm gonna go that far. Okay, so I'm asking about do you know about T.S. Madison and the DL Whisperer and what's going on with that? So I don't know. So Nyla has a position where she feels like because T.S. Madison invited the DL Whisperer to her house on that rah-rah, then the same energy should have been kept when the DL Whisperer showed up at the house. Now I don't know about all of that. I don't feel one way or the other whether T.S. Madison called the police or did not call the police, right? But I do agree with Nyla. You said, no, I haven't followed that story at all. Okay, yes. Yeah, so apparently it was a beef that ensued between the DL Whisperer and T.S. Madison. Tasha K had something to do with how the beef got started. So the DL Whisperer is this guy who is, I guess he outs certain men that are on the down low. And then he gives women gives women all of these. He's a gay man, and he outs like men that are on the down low, and then he gives advice to women who on how to detect a man that's on the down low, right? And so Tasha K had I don't know whether T.S. Madison and the DL Whisperer started arguing before the Tasha K thing. Nyla last night was highlighted, and I gotta go back and really like watch and then go back and then look at these individuals on the live that she was mentioning, because Nyla suggested on her live last night that it is another trans woman who T.S. Madison is connected to, who was involved in some fraud that involved her getting like all of these LLCs and businesses and stuff. And then yeah, Cardi trying to have them reverse their bankruptcy. I seen that, Miller. Yeah, and so this other trans person that T.S. Madison is connected to was brought up on some kind of fraud charges. And long story short, Nala is insinuating, and she's saying that there's other people in the community have the belief that T.S. Madison is somehow involved in whatever this fraud is this happening, right? And so the DL Whisperer, in addition to that fact that the DL Whisperer was outing DL men and giving women advice on how to spot DL men and stuff like that, the DL Whisperer was also outing this person that is friends with T.S. Madison that had all of this fraud going on. And then Nala believes that the DL Whisperer was probably close to exposing the fact that T.S. Madison allegedly had something to do with this fraud activity. And so I guess it's being suggested that the beef started before. It started before the whole appearance on Tasha K. But then I think that once the DL Whisperer appeared on Tasha K, some kind of way the beef kicked up even more. And then they started going at it. It's being said that T.S. Madison doxed the DL Whisperer, and then this is when all of this arguing started, and it escalated to the point where the DL Whisperer ends up outside of T.S. Madison's house, and T.S. Madison goes and gets the restraining order, and then the DL Whisperer does something to violate the restraining order, and now the DL Whisperer been in jail. The DL Whisperer done been in jail for about 3-4 months behind this. Okay. I don't know. I think Nyla was saying he ain't had a court date. It's all types of stuff going on. So, but what Nyla was talking about, how trans women don't want women to help fight for them, don't want cisgender women to help fight for them to have their own space. They want to take over and invade the space of women. And then she was talking about how they like, because T.S. Madison's stance is she doesn't think that down low men should be outed. Like T.S. Madison protects down low men being outed. She doesn't agree with it. And so that's another part of the beef that she has with the DL Whisperer and anybody else who feels like it's okay to out down low men. But I agree with the approach. It's one thing if men are down low, they not sleeping with women and stuff like that. Anybody who is sleeping with any kind of sexual partner, whether gay or straight, they should discuss it with their partner before doing it, right? That should be across the board. But I'm sorry, I have to take it very serious when I say that down low men need to be outed, because their activity, and I'm sorry to say this, but it's true, their activity is reckless, and it can lead to major health issues. And I'm sorry, and that's just the truth. Because they down low, because they are hiding something, they move in a way like they're hiding something, and that makes them more at risk. And it puts them in situations where they are willing to engage in more risky activity. And so, again, I think that women should need to know that. That's not something that I think should be protected. And Nyla was saying that that is like a typical male thing to protect men at any cost. That what T.S. Madison is doing is showing how male she actually is by thinking that men should be protected from from having to reveal their sexual preference to somebody that they are engaging in sex with. Like you don't just assume nobody, no matter who it is, whether male or female, they shouldn't assume that a person wants to be sleeping with them. No, and they're sleeping with other people and they not being honest and upfront and telling them that that's what they're doing. But definitely not when you got a gay man. Like a woman should have the option to say, I don't want to sleep with a man who sleeps with men. They should at least know that that's what's happening. And I agree with that. Like that's wrong. But T.S. Madison, she protects down low men and feels like they shouldn't be outed. And so that is one of her major beefs with the DL Whisperer. And that was some of the argument of how it got started. And Nyla is saying that T.S. Madison doxed the DL Whisperer first and put all the business out there, went into the DL Whisperer's credit report, all of this stuff, and then it led to this escalated beef, and the DL Whisperer ended up at T.S. Madison's house. T.S. Madison went and filed a police report, and in the police report, T.S. Madison was overly like using that she's a woman who this man came to come after. It was just like really just exaggerated, just really over the top. And then when you see the two of them, not that size means anything, but you see T.S. Madison and then you see the DL Whisperer and you like, really? Like, really? But it was like overuse of the fact that trans women are targets, which that's something that we know, right? But you don't make yourself no target by inviting somebody to come to your home either. After you didn't put all of their business out in the street, and then you invite them to your home, like to squabble up. Like he's not looking, the DL Whisperer is not looking at it like he's going to that house to go fight no woman. He's looking at it like he's going to that house to fight a man. But the police report was oversaturated with woman. And then to invoke more empathy, then T.S. Madison went to trans women are always the targets and all of this other stuff. And making it seem like it had something to do with her identity. Versus the fact that y'all had this issue on YouTube where you expose personal information about the DL Whisperer and then invited him to your house to squabble up with you. That part was left out of the report. And so then like I said, I don't know what they did to to violate it, but something the DL Whisperer must have done to violate it. And he in jail. And nobody knows when he's supposed to have another court date, nothing. He just stuck in there. But yeah, with Cardi and Tasha, I don't know how that's going to go. I know Cardi is mad because Tasha keep reporting on, because I know I seen something where they say that she was trying to get Tasha sanctioned because not just because Tasha was talking about her, but because she was reporting on Offset and Stephon Diggs too. And then now I seen a thing saying that she's trying to interfere with Tasha K's bankruptcy. So I wonder how that's gonna shake out. This a mess. I don't know what's gonna happen, Miller, but we gonna keep watching and see what's happening. I'm gonna go and take myself inside of here now so I could get back to work. And you have a good afternoon. Thank you for coming in here and talking to me for a little while I try to get myself together to get back upstairs. I'm awake now, at least. I was getting tired and falling asleep, but at least I'm awake now. So I will talk to you guys soon. Y'all have a good day.